Well, hello there. I haven't seen you in a while. I know. I've been away for a while. It's been probably 6 or 7 months since I painted anything or played a game. It's been quite busy. But I've finally stepped back into the painting realm, and then, of course, last night was Adepticon. And I think we need to have a little discussion about what happened last night. Now, last night is supposed to be the Super Bowl for Warhammer, but instead, we pretty much got a fumbled kickoff, a broken mic, and a team that looked like they'd forgot the playbook in the locker room. So don't get it twisted, there were wins, some pretty big ones. But we're not going to pretend this was some flawless, hype-drenched revelation, because it just was not. We can start with the obvious. The technical issues. A lot of them. There were audio problems, awkward pacing, a little bit of dead air. I mean, this is Games Workshop. This isn't some dude streaming from his basement with a webcam and a dream. They've got the money, they've got the manpower, and they've got an entire year to plan for this. And this is what we got. This isn't just a stream. This is the biggest stage of the year. It felt very unprepared. Like, almost like they just realized the assignment was due the next morning and they threw it together in the hallway before a class. It was disappointing, especially after how big last year was. Obviously, the biggest, for some of us, anyways, was the return to Yarg. I've got no complaints about that. They're walking back to Armageddon, which the history and the era that came from, to me, that's 40K at its best. Um, but then the question hits immediately, where's the Steel Legion? Tons of people have been talking about this. You know, they're bringing back the face of Armageddon, and they forgot the army that made it what it was. And the answer we got was that they were wiped out. Well, okay, I guess. So the Steel Legion is gone, but the Cadians are just hanging out on Armageddon. Their planet exploded. They've been decimated, but they got screen time somehow. I can't see how they can make that make sense. And again, people have said this all the time already, you know. They dropped a tutorial to paint Krieg as Steel Legion, and that's just a terrible way to put a band-aid on it. The community saw right through it. And then last minute, all of a sudden, there's just concept art for new Steel Legion. I didn't like the concept art only because it felt like it was damage control. Um, it was like, oh shit, we better do something about this. Then they revealed Wazdaka Gutsmech. And man, I gotta tell you, my second army was an orc army. My first one was Deathcore Krieg that I painted from Steel Legion models. But that Wazdaka was awful. I had the old Forge World model back in the day, and that thing was amazing. I still have it. The detail, the metal chaos that thing was. I mean, you could stare at it for 10 minutes and still find something new. This one felt like the Timu version of that one. It's too clean, it's too simplified, it's too cartoony. And the thing that I think bugs me about this is I've already seen, like, Chapter Master Valrek act like this is the second coming. And maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. But it feels like we've lowered the bar. I don't know. That one was just sad for me. Now, I don't have all negative to say. There were some really good things about it. And I will give credit where credit is due. The new Astra Militarum vehicles were super cool. Very heavily leaned into World War II German styling, the half-tracks, the six-wheeled scouts. They look like they rolled straight out of a Mercedes factory for the front lines. And that, to me, reminds me of exactly what the Guard should be. Steel, mud, mass production. It was well done, very well done. The female commissar. This is where I'm a little bit cautious. I'm not angry or outraged or really disappointed, but 40K does not need to reflect the real world. It's not supposed to feel modern. in the sense of 2026. It's supposed to feel oppressive and brutal and indifferent. So any change has to serve that tone first. That's just the bottom line. So if they go down this path of DEI or inclusivity, they're gonna lose some people. Another win was the new Orc Boy. For me, finally, one boy that can do everything. Shoot a, slug a, chop a. Um, they're giant hulks. They can carry a ton of shit. Why weren't they carrying all these weapons from the beginning? Why 15 years ago did we have to pick if it was a shoot a boy or a slug a boy? Orcs aren't specialists. They grab the biggest, loudest guns and as much ammo as they can and run onto the battlefield. To me, this was perfect. It's simple, it's brutal, and it's lore accurate. The I have to laugh a little bit at the Blood Angels. They're finally getting the box art that they deserve, akin to the older generational models. They were a big army back in the day, and they're a huge part of this Armageddon conflict. And what did they get for their release? Generic models. I kind of get it, but once again, they've kind of gotten shafted again. In this case, they just get, well, here, just paint these like they're Blood Angels. They didn't even get an upgrade sprue. Eh, I mean, everybody could use them, which is great. But if they're going to put the Blood Angels on the box cover, I mean, give them something that feels like Blood Angels, a new Tycho, um, Librarian Dreadnought, something like that. I don't know. I think it was just another missed opportunity. I'm going to circle back to Yark for a quick second in Armageddon because I think that there's something that nobody's really talked about yet. It was kind of glossed over last night, um, but nobody mentioned it today, and that's how they said something about how Yark's return is tied to the Space Wolves. Where was he? Was he on Fenris? Was he in the warp? Is Ross in the 13th going to pull him out of the warp? That was I feel like a lot more could have been done to build up around that. Like maybe they had a script and they didn't know how to follow it, but you don't just say that and move on. It's not a throwaway line. Um, that's something bigger waiting to explode. I mean, a lot of people were waiting for Russ to come back. And really, he probably shouldn't come back until the Eye of Terror, but I mean, it's close enough in the timeline. I don't know. All in all, the reveals were messy. I feel like they were very unprepared. I think it was full of missed opportunities, but the direction is strong. I would say stronger than it's been in a very long time, back since before in the early 2000s when I started playing and all we had was White Dwarf to go off of. And I think that's what makes this so frustrating for me was everything they needed was already there. They just didn't kind of commit to it. This is our one night a year as a fan-based community for our Super Bowl. And last year's was so good. I was really looking forward to last night, and I feel more let down with the presentation of it than what was the substance of it, if that makes any sense. But anyways, it's good to be back. I've got new models that I'm finishing and hope to be posting some of those really soon.